I'm going to be quoting Mr. Dillian Whyte. Please don't be a bitch and don't try to get out of the fight. It's been ordered by the WBC. Be a man and let's do this. Stop being a bitch. So that is Dillian Whyte's message to Dominic Breazeale, because Dominic Breazeale has been thinking about possibly not fighting Dillian Whyte and instead opting to face Deontay Wilder if the Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury rematch doesn't get made, because obviously the WBC ordered Dillian Whyte versus Dominic Breazeale to take place, but this was when they thought that Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder was going to happen for sure. But now, since that fight looks like it's in, it might happen, it might not happen, Dominic Breazeale is hoping that that fight actually doesn't happen, so then he could opt to, instead of going to face Dillian Whyte, he immediately faces Deontay Wilder. And Dillian Whyte is pissed off about that, and that's why he called him a bitch, and he says he needs to man up and he needs to face me, because obviously if Dillian Whyte faces Dominic Breazeale and if he beats him, he will become the mandatory. And I told you guys, this kind of puts Dillian Whyte in a pickle, because if Dominic Breazeale ends up facing Deontay Wilder next, once again, Dillian Whyte is going to be in a position where he's not going to be fighting Deontay Wilder next. He's going to be basically be sitting in the sidelines. He's going to have to fight somebody else to just keep him active. And like I said, all this would have been avoided if he would have just taken that offer that Eddie Hearn offered him to face for AJ, to face for the title. But obviously he didn't want that because he wanted more money. So now he's forced to basically wait to see what, Dillian Whyte himself is forced to wait to see what happens with the Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury rematch. Because like I said, if that fight doesn't get made, Dominic Breazeale might just say peace out to Dillian Whyte and just go straight for the title shot to face Deontay Wilder. So now Dillian Whyte's going to have to be waiting on the sidelines. So yeah, Dillian Whyte's not happy about that. But I'm curious if that happens, and then let's say Dominic Breazeale fights Deontay Wilder. If Deontay Wilder beats him, he's no longer the #1 mandatory. So does that make Dillian Whyte the number one mandatory? Wouldn't that make Dillian Whyte the #1 mandatory? Or would the WBC then make Dillian Whyte, or order Dillian Whyte to face another guy to win the mandatory position? That's what I'm curious about. Because they ordered him to face Dominic Breazeale, but let's say Dominic Breazeale faces Deontay Wilder, and then he loses to him, and obviously he's no longer the mandatory because he already lost. What would they do with Dillian Whyte? Would they just make him automatically the mandatory, or would they force him to face another dude to win that spot as the mandatory? Knowing the WBC and knowing how much of a hard time they give Dillian Whyte, they're probably going to force him to face for another guy just to win that mandatory position, because the mandatory, the WBC seems to make Dillian Whyte fight for several title eliminations, to get the, I don't know, they make him work hard. That's just my opinion. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of what Dillian Whyte had to say. He's pissed off. He wants to face Dominic Breazeale. Thanks for watching, guys.